The number one thing that I did that improved all my relationships automatically is what I'm going to share with you in this video. And this is both about romantic and non-romantic relationships. This is very important because even if you didn't have a romantic specific person that you're manifesting, you very likely have other people in your life, family members, co-workers, friends, neighbors, you name it. And you do have relationships with these people. And you deserve to have good quality relationships. And this is something that many people in the manifestation community overlook. I find it very important. I'm going to share it with you. I highly recommend to apply it. You can, of course, apply it or ignore it, but I very much recommend applying it from own experience. So if you are someone who is looking to improve your relationships, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, because I am going to talk a lot more about this, and my whole channel is about conscious manifestation. And I would love to have you here. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. You can also join my Master Manifestor Mastermind group. In that case, please send me an email, again, from my booking page, and we will get you on board. So let's talk about relationships. When we talk about relationships, we inevitably need to mention everyone is you pushed out. There's a lot to the concept of everyone is you pushed out, more than what you think the other person is thinking. Because that is one part. What you think and believe the other person is thinking, feeling, wanting with you, etc. But that I have found from my own experience that is an aftermath. That is not the source problem. Where it all starts is your self-concept. And many people don't want to hear about it, but this is, again, an inevitable thing when you are manifesting, because everything and everyone is you pushed out. And it's your assumptions about yourself that are the most important thing in your experience. Because when I say that what the other person is thinking is the aftermath, that is the aftermath of your self-concept. What self-concept you have, your assumptions about yourself, and this is everything included, it's what you think about your looks, what you think about your personality, what you think about your talents, what you think about how you make money. That is all what you think about yourself, what you assume to be true about yourself. That inevitably manifests in how you are treated, in how you are seen and treated in other relationships. And that is where the thoughts of the other person forms. So I do recommend working with your assumptions about the other person specifically. And that is both your assumptions about what they assume to be true about you and what you assume to be true about them, how they treat you, how they behave, etc. All that is very valid and very much worth to work with. But that, both their thoughts about you, their opinions about you, and their behavior, how they behave with you, is a result of your self-concept. So this is why this is the reason I said many people overlook this, because you hear a lot that, oh, you don't need to work on your self-concept. You can manifest the other person. You can manifest the relationship. And I agree, you definitely can manifest the relationship and the person, etc., etc. But you cannot do that without your self-concept, because regardless of what you are manifesting with the other person, you are going to take your self-concept with you. And at some point, that will kick in and manifest. I have been coaching people in this for several years, and I cannot tell you how many times a person comes to me and tells me this exact story. I met this person, it was all perfect, everything was going so well, or I manifested this person specifically. Both things happen. I mean, both are manifestation, but sometimes this is a conscious manifestation. Sometimes they meet the person without specifically manifesting them. And the story is always, it was so good in the beginning, but then the problem started. That is the problem. That is the self-concept. That is the insecurities. That is the etc. It all starts with some sort of an insecurity. When you target your self-concept, that has to inevitably, I'm using this word a lot in this video and I mean it, it has to inevitably start showing in your relationships. And this is what I did. When I started manifesting for real, and I had manifested several things before that, but I hadn't really understood the depths of manifestation. When I came to a point where I had to do something about my self-concept, because I realized, because I had started sort of manifesting, this was still in the beginning of my journey, but I started seeing the pattern that no matter what kind of relationship we were talking about, like romantic, non-romantic, like even the teachers back in school, or every person almost that I was interacting with, the problems, the underlying problems were the same. Because this is all with layers. When you start understanding the patterns, you start understanding the layers, and you reach to the bottom layer, and it's all the same problem. It's all the same insecurity. It's all the same assumption, but it manifests in different scenarios with different people in different ways. And this is something that I work with clients a lot. And when I started targeting this, during this period when I was working specifically on my self-concept, I was not manifesting anything else on purpose, because this was such a huge thing in that moment that nothing else was that important. I had to do something about this. So I started working only on my self-concept. And this went like with every other manifestation, with a lot of resistance, with a lot of negative thoughts, with a lot of negative assumptions that I had to change and work with. So as I was working with this for a couple of months, between 2.5, 3 months, nothing was happening. I was all in my head doing my work without anything showing in the 3D. But I kept going, because the thing that kept driving me was, one is I can't keep having these same problems over and over again. Two, I can't keep feeling bad about myself in any way, shape, or form. I'm sick of this. This needs to change. So my beliefs about myself need to change. That was the most important thing for me. So that was the driving force behind this work for me. I had no idea what was about to come. What started happening after several months of doing this work was that I started noticing a difference in the way I felt about myself and the way I was treated from the same people. The unimportant relationships that were sort of problematic, they disappeared, which was a wonderful thing, to be honest. Thinking back, I'm a different person with a different self-concept today. If I'm thinking back, I'm thinking, well, what were these people even doing in my life? But it makes sense because of my self-concept and because where I was mentally. All those like fall apart and disappeared from my life. And then the new people that I started meeting were all kind of based on my new self-concept, different kind of people. Completely different quality of relationships, friendships, you name it. And This has been the most wonderful thing that I have learned about manifestation. And almost every client that I have worked with, I have worked on their self-concept. I always recommend this. I mean, you decide what you want to apply, what you don't, but this is a non-negotiable. I have two stories I want to tell you about two clients that I worked with, like heavily on their self-concept. One was manifesting. She came to me because she was manifesting a specific person. The other came to me because she was manifesting something related to her job. I don't exactly remember what it was. It was either a raise or a different position at the place she was working. In both of the cases, it was very much very clear that they needed to work on their self-concept. And I said it to them, like, let's focus on your self-concept for a period, and then we can go to the specifics. In both cases, it went the same way. The first young woman I was working with, they both accepted this. And they liked the idea. They liked the idea of becoming, secure and liking themselves, because, of course, why wouldn't you? So the first one started working on self-concept. The plan was that we would work on self-concept first and then go to the specific manifestation of her specific person. We didn't sort of make in time to do that because her self-concept started improving all her relationships, including her specific person, the relationship with her specific person. So that was amazing. The second, again, young woman I was working with, it went the same way. She started out with self-concept, and I recommended to go all in with self-concept. What happened was that not only she manifested the other position, that she didn't manifest the other position, she actually ended up getting a better position at her work than what she was initially aiming for. And what we did was purely self-concept. And your self-concept is going to be specific for you. You know your problems. If you don't, I as a coach can help you. So in any case, this is a super important thing, because this is going to manifest in everything, including your relationships, which is super important. Another thing that I find super important is the way you feel about yourself. And you deserve to love yourself, and you deserve to know your worth, and you deserve to be free from all these societal limitations that we all learn and go through. Self-concept work is mostly getting rid of those limitations and actually knowing who you are. And you are more than you think you are. You are worth more than you could possibly think you are with those limitations that the society teaches us. And I always say we get all our limitations, limiting beliefs from society, because we live in a society that doesn't know that we're manifesting. So everything is done the 3D way, the old way, you know that. And conscious manifestation is undoing all that. And it's a beautiful work. So something else that I have to mention that your self-concept is going to improve is the way you manifest. Next time, let's say you work on your self-concept, you improve your self-concept, and then you start manifesting something new. The start is going to be on a completely different level, because one thing is starting to manifest your desire, something that is important to you that you want, thinking that you don't deserve it, you can't have it because of this, and starting to manifest the same thing, thinking, of course you can have it, you deserve it, etc., etc. Self-concept is not only about deserving or it's not that limited, but you get the point. And regarding manifestations, when you have a better self-concept, you dare to desire what you actually desire. And I have seen this a lot with people that I have been coaching, that people limit their desires based on what they think they can have, or based on what their particular society has limited them to believe that they should have. You should have this, you should not have this. And sometimes the should not is the actual desire. In conscious manifestations, we don't judge people's desires. And I often get, when I say this, I often get comments about, oh, what if someone wants to hurt somebody else? I have been coaching people for years. Not a single time has anybody come to me to manifest hurting anybody or manifest something negative. Everyone who has come to me for manifestation coaching, their desire have either been love, money, health, self-concept. I have worked with people who specifically wanted coaching for self-concept, which is wonderful, and other things like that. So no worries about that. Work on your self-concept because you deserve it more than anything. Like I would say even your relationships, which are very important, are secondary to you feeling good about yourself. But when you do that, everything is going to both come easier to you and it's going to improve. It is inevitable that your self-concept will improve your relationships because people are you pushed out. People are your assumptions pushed out. And the first and the main things that get pushed out is what you believe about yourself. And that is mainly what we focus on when we work on self-concept. But again, if you are manifesting other things as well, such as your romantic partner, or you are manifesting money or career or whatever you're manifesting, you can do two things at once. As someone who has mostly manifested several things at once, if I can do it, you can do it. So you don't have to put any manifestation on hold. You could if you want to, but self-concept for me is a non-negotiable. I think it's important because whatever you manifest, you're going to take your self-concept with you. This is an important thing to remember, and I don't think it's a good advice to give to people that, oh, you don't have to improve your self-concept. You can manifest your specific person or the money anyway. Yes, you can, but your self-concept is coming with you, so you'd better improve it. And this is one of the most beautiful things that you can manifest. Speaking from experience with several clients, this can be addictive. Just so you know, you are going to get addicted to thinking beautiful things about yourself. So get started right away and see the results for yourself, because this is, I'm repeating myself, this is the most amazing thing that you can do. And once again, if you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I would love to help you with anything that you are manifesting, including your self-concept, of course. You can also join my Master Manifestors Mastermind group, which is a weekly, consistent group coaching, which is very helpful to stay consistent and also problem solving in your manifestations. In that case, send me an email from the link in the description box below. Also hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because we are going to talk a lot more about your self-concept, your relationships, and anything else that you are manifesting. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.